Right guys, it's Monday morning. I'm a little bit sweaty already because we've just had a massive monumental clean up of the workshop and the detailing bay next door. Katie helped me out, so massive thanks to Katie for that. But over the weekend we sold the Dacia Sandero. Now, I've not even done a video on the Dacia yet because it sold so quick. We actually bought it in for Rod at Cross Garage. He done a timing chain kit and everything on it, he serviced it, he done a few other bits and bobs, then he done a trade sale to me, we brought it in here, pretty much just detailed it, touched up a few wee bits, made it look the part, and then we done an Auto Trader advert, our first ever Auto Trader advert. We paid like £84 to get this advert done, and it sold the day after we posted the advert. So we're going to leave the advert up there just so that people can click on it and then click on the website link and have a look at our other stock, because I really didn't want to waste the £84. So I'm going to keep it up there for now, just so people can click and have a look at other stuff. But we actually took a trade-in on the Dacia Sandero. So behind me is a car that James at Chop's Garage likes to batter on about. He says they're absolutely brilliant. This is our first ever time having one, and it's a little Suzuki Swift. So far this little car drives okay. I actually drove it home for the customer's house. I dropped the Dacia off at their house and drove this back. It looks a bit rough. It looks like it's never had a wash in the 3 years that they've owned it. I've done a check on it, and it was previously an insurance write-off in 2021. She bought it in 2023. I had a good look over it. The repair work seems to have been done properly. But I'm going to have another good look at that. There's a few wee bits need tidied up. It looks like it's never been washed, but the worst thing is I want to drive it for a wee while just to make sure it's okay before we put it up for sale, or decide if we're going to put it up for sale. But first of all, we need to fix this. Back box is actually snapped off the centre section, so what I'm going to do, before I spend any money on it, we'll stop it beeping, I'm going to get it jacked up, see if I can weld the exhaust for now, even if I can sleeve it and weld it, just to patch it up. I won't leave it like that. If I decide I'm going to sell it, I'll put a new exhaust on it. But I want to be able to road test it and get a good run, make sure it's okay. I've actually got a wee trip coming up, I might use it for that. It's going to be like sort of 800-mile round trip, so I might take it on that before we decide if we're going to retail this car or not. So let's crack on, get it welded, and then we can take it for a spin.
An entry to open the line at 6 AM on the 22nd of July.
Right, I don't think it's my prettiest work because it's not so great for access, but it'll hold and it'll let me test drive it for a couple of days to find out if it's worth fixing. So we'll let that cool down, we'll go and have some lunch, and then we'll throw the back box back on. That's the exhaust back on, finally. It shouldn't leak too bad, but while I've got it all jacked up, I'm just going to get all a good once over, get a real good inspection, and see if everything's all good or not. Brake pipes need a wee clean. Springs are broken. Handbrake's holding okay. Tyres are good on this side. Let's have a wee look at here. Tyres good on this side as well. There's no play or anything. There's a wee bit of rust starting here, but once we get it all cleaned, we'll see what we're working with. Fuel cap needs adjusting a wee bit. It's had a wee bit of paint here before, looks a wee bit textured, so yeah. Still, we're going to need a proper clean before we can decide what's going on with that. But I'll just, while it's up on the jacks, have a good look under here. This spring's okay as well. Shock's good. Brake flexes are all good. Fuel tank, plastic fuel tank. There's not really much to go wrong with stuff here. There's not even too much corrosion under here, it's actually okay. Rear apron and everything looks okay. Chassis legs are all standard. Doesn't seem to be any repairs on them. I did actually look for evidence of the salvage market that this went through, but I couldn't find anything. And even when I looked at the logbook, there's no category marker on the logbook. But when I done a total car check, it came back as categorised by the insurance. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but we'll do some more research. But so far so good. Everything at the back here looks okay. Let's get the battery connected back up, start it back up and make sure it's not blowing. And we can jack the front up and have a wee check at the front as well. Let's see. Take it in gear. Make sure radio's turned in. I've lost all the stations anyway because I disconnected the battery. Yeah, that sounds better. I think it's still got a wee tiny blow, either that or it's quite a raspy glass box. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of an exhaust blow still. I can't really see where from though, to be honest. This all looks pretty sealed. It's coming from somewhere. That will do for now. Like I said, it only has to last a couple of days until I see if it's worth fixing or not. We might send it to auction, might do something else, I don't know. So yeah, I just want to test drive it first. I don't want to make any decisions until I've given it a good test drive. The front springs are good, shocks are dry, front brake pipes are okay. Brake pads have probably got about 60% of their meat still on them. Bushes look okay. Steering gaiter's okay. Flexi looks good. CV joint's good. No sign of any accident damage here either. No play or anything. Tyres are good. Let's have a wee look at the other side. I've done all the levels, well the bonnet was open as well, so I've topped up all the screen wash, radiator level was good, coolant strength's good. This spring's okay, shock's okay. Brake pipe here's okay as well. CV bit's okay. Pads are about the same, so yeah. Bushes look good as well. So far, this actually seems okay mechanically. No play on anything. Right, have a wee quick look under here. Right, the exhaust blows a wee bit better. It's a lot quieter than when I drove it home. So I'm I'm not expecting this car to be too bad. She's a nurse. The lady that bought the Dacia was a nurse. And she worked in Falkirk, so she used to drive this back and forward to Falkirk every single day. So it was in daily use. It's got 86,200 miles on it. And when I drove it home the other day, it felt okay. I just couldn't push it too hard because the exhaust was really loud. Now that we've kind of fixed it, I can drive it properly. And so far, it feels pretty good. Brakes are doing what they're supposed to, steering feels tight, no knocks or bangs yet, clutch feels good. And it also came with half a tank of fuel in it as well. So far so good. It seems to be pretty well kitted out as well. It's not got air conditioning, but it's got auxiliary ports, USB, the wee radio looks decent, it's got steering wheel controls, it's got wind deflectors fitted. I think the steering sits out a little bit. Could probably do with a wheel alignment. That's nothing major. I mean, the car tracks straight, it's just the steering wheel sits very, very slightly right. It's got plenty of poke for a wee 1.2 engine as well, it's okay. The handbrake works, but it's got quite a lot of travel on it, so I'll probably strip the back brakes, clean them up and adjust the handbrake. Yeah, clutch feels good, brakes feel good, steering feels tight, quite responsive actually. So much quieter than when I drove it home the first time. So much quieter. So far so good. This wee Suzuki Swift's impressing me. I think I need to take it home on some back roads like James said, because he's actually got one of these, uses it as a track car. He's got a Suzuki Swift Sport, but he swears by these. He even actually said that the Suzuki Swift was the best hatchback. And that's quite a bold claim with the amount of hatchbacks that are available in the market, to say that the Suzuki Swift is the best one. I obviously can't comment on that in the short time that I've driven this, but I'm going to spend a couple of days in it, so maybe in the next video I'll give you an update on what I think of the Suzuki Swift. But so far, so good. There's not a massive list of mechanical repairs. Just normal maintenance, an exhaust and an oil change. Brakes don't need done. Adjust the handbrake, and the rest of it is going to be cosmetic. So let's get back into the workshop. Let's get some citrus pre-wash eaten into the 3 years worth of grime that's on here, and then we'll get Katie power washing it and seeing how well this little thing cleans up. Right guys, good old citrus pre-wash first, all over the car, and incinerate wheel cleaner. This stuff is the best for wheels. Not only does it clean your wheels, it cleans the tyres as well. So all the crappy brown oils that come out of your tyres, this will get rid of all of it. It's great stuff. These might need 2 goes because these haven't been cleaned in years. So we'll see how it goes. See what I mean about the brown on the tyres? So I'm starting to come off now. Right, let's throw it on a time lapse and see what kind of transformation we get.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time.
So guys, it's actually been a couple of days now, and the little Suzuki Swift has cleaned up alright. You're going to see it in a second. So I actually decided to take this car on a bit of a longer run. We went down south, we went all the way down to Peterborough, down to my daughter's housewarming party, and we've done over 800 miles in the little Suzuki Swift, and it didn't miss a beat. It was absolutely fantastic. So I've decided to splash the cash on it, got some new plates, we've done the exhaust, I've touched the wheels up, we've done all sorts to it, and look at it now. As you can see, the little car is totally transformed. We've put the proper square plate on the front of it. The wheels are touched up. It's cleaned up really nice. Oh, the black moss is off the roof. It's running now. You can hardly hear it because we've put the new exhaust on it. New plate on the back. And the wee car is just looking absolutely fantastic. Like, even the inside of it is cleaned up super well. So yeah, we done over 800 miles in it. It was actually loaded with 4 adults and fully crammed with luggage, and it done 55 miles to the gallon all the way down the motorway. Absolutely fantastic, really comfortable as well. Drove nice and smooth, so super happy with it. Really chuffed, so I decided to put it up for sale, and just as I put it up for sale, I got a phone call from Aldo the painter saying he had a mate that was looking for a car. So I took it to see him and he decided to buy it. So we're now going to go and drop it off. The wee car's sold. And yeah, that was actually a really quick turnaround. So let's get round to Sean's house, we'll drop it off, and that'll be it for the Swift.
Takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.